Have you ever found yourself waking up 2, 3, or even 4 times during the night just to use the bathroom? If so, you are definitely not alone. Millions of people around the world experience this frustrating problem. It might seem like just a small inconvenience, but in reality, interrupted sleep can affect your memory, your mood, and even your heart health. Imagine how much better you could feel if you were able to sleep through the night without those constant interruptions. In this video, I will share with you a simple yet powerful strategy called the 3-2-1 method, designed to help reduce nighttime urination and give you back the rest your body needs. Stay with me, because what you are about to learn could make a real difference in how you sleep tonight and every night. Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Emily Carter, and I am here to guide you through the science of better sleep and better health. I have spent years reviewing medical research and translating it into clear, practical advice that you can actually apply in your daily life. My goal is to help you understand your body, take control of your health, and live with more energy and confidence. Tonight, we are focusing on something that may be disrupting your life more than you realize: waking up again and again during the night to urinate. For some people, this happens once. For many others, it happens several times. It can leave you exhausted the next day, and over time, it can even impact your long-term health. The good news is that there are ways to reduce this problem, and one of the most practical approaches is what I call the 3-2-1 method. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly what this method is, why it works, and how you can begin trying it for yourself starting tonight. But that is not all. I will also explain when nighttime urination could be a sign of something more serious, how doctors usually evaluate it, and which daily habits can make the biggest difference. These are insights that many people do not hear about in regular conversations, but they can change the way you sleep. So let me invite you to stay with me until the end. I promise you will come away with clear strategies and a better understanding of your body. And if you find this video helpful, do not forget to give it a like. Share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to this channel so you never miss future health tips. Your support allows me to keep bringing you useful and reliable content every single week. Are you ready to learn how the 3-2-1 method can help you take back your nights and feel more rested during your days? Let us get started. Before we dive into the 3-2-1 method, it is important to understand the problem we are trying to solve. The medical term for waking up at night to urinate is nocturia. It might sound like just another technical word, but it describes a condition that affects millions of people worldwide. In fact, studies suggest that about 1 in 3 adults over the age of 30 wake up at least once every night to urinate. As we age, the numbers rise even more. More than half of adults over 60 report this problem, and in some cases, people can be up 5 or 6 times every night. Now let us pause for a moment and think about that. Imagine 2 people, one who sleeps 7 hours straight without interruption, and another who has to wake up 3 or 4 times to make trips to the bathroom. Who do you think will feel more energized, more focused, and more ready to face the day? The answer is obvious, and yet so many of us accept poor sleep as if it were just part of life. The impact of nocturia is not only about feeling tired. Interrupted sleep has been linked to weaker memory, reduced concentration, and a higher risk of mood changes such as irritability and even depression. And there is more. In older adults, nighttime trips to the bathroom are a major risk factor for falls and injuries, especially if the room is dark or if balance is already a challenge. Something as simple as walking to the bathroom at 3 in the morning can become dangerous. But why does this happen in the first place? The bladder is designed to hold urine comfortably for several hours. In theory, we should be able to sleep through the night without interruption. Yet for many people, things change with age, lifestyle, or underlying health conditions. Sometimes the kidneys produce too much urine at night. Sometimes the bladder becomes more sensitive. Sometimes medications or other health problems are playing a role. We will get into these causes in detail later, but for now, it is enough to know that this is a common but often overlooked medical issue. Have you ever wondered why your bladder seems to wake up before you do? Or why it seems worse on some nights compared to others? These are the questions we will be answering step by step. And most importantly, we will be exploring a practical tool, the 3-2-1 method, that may help reduce those nighttime interruptions and improve your sleep quality. So, as we move forward, keep in mind this simple idea. Better nights lead to better days. If you can manage or reduce nocturia, you are not just avoiding bathroom trips. You are protecting your health, your energy, and even your safety. Let us now take a closer look at what this condition really means, what causes it, and how the 3-2-1 method can help you take back control of your nights. Let us begin with the foundation of today's discussion, the 3-2-1 method. At first glance, it might sound like just another catchy phrase, but it is actually a simple routine based on how the body processes fluids, food, and sleep signals. The idea is straightforward. 3 hours before bedtime, you stop drinking large amounts of fluids. 2 hours before bedtime, you stop eating heavy meals. And 1 hour before bedtime, you step away from screens such as phones, tablets, or televisions. 3, 2, 1. Simple to remember, but powerful when put into practice. Why does this matter so much for nighttime urination? Let us start with the 3. When you avoid drinking large amounts of water, tea, or other beverages in the final 3 hours before going to bed, you give your body enough time to filter and eliminate excess fluid before you lie down. This reduces the likelihood that your bladder will fill up while you are asleep. Of course, this does not mean that you should avoid hydration altogether. Drinking water throughout the day is essential. The key is timing. Shift your fluid intake earlier so that your kidneys are not working overtime in the middle of the night. Now the 2. Stopping heavy meals 2 hours before bedtime is not just about digestion. When you eat a salty or large dinner right before sleep, your body holds onto more fluid, and that fluid eventually makes its way to the bladder. By finishing your meals earlier, you allow digestion to progress and reduce the chances of late-night fluid shifts that push you out of bed. And finally, the 1. Turning off screens at least 1 hour before bed has more to do with your brain than your bladder. But the connection is real. Blue light from phones and televisions suppresses melatonin, the hormone that signals your body it is time to rest. Without enough melatonin, your sleep is lighter, which means you are more likely to wake up at the slightest signal from your bladder. By disconnecting from screens, you give your brain and body a better chance at deep, uninterrupted sleep. Compare this with doing nothing at all. If you drink a tall glass of water right before bed, eat a salty snack late in the evening, and scroll through your phone until your eyes can barely stay open. It should not surprise you when your night is broken into multiple bathroom trips. The 3-2-1 method may not solve every case of nocturia, but for many people, it can dramatically reduce the frequency of nighttime urination and improve overall rest. Now that we understand what the 3-2-1 method is and why it matters, let us explore the most common reasons why people experience nighttime urination in the first place. Knowing the underlying causes can help you understand whether simple lifestyle changes are enough or whether you should seek further medical advice. One of the most frequent causes is an overactive bladder. This means that the bladder muscles contract too often or too strongly, creating the urgent need to urinate even when the bladder is not completely full. People with an overactive bladder may find themselves waking multiple times at night, sometimes with very little urine to pass. In men, another major cause is an enlarged prostate, also called benign prostatic hyperplasia. As men age, the prostate gland can grow and press against the urethra, the tube that carries urine out of the body. This pressure makes it harder to fully empty the bladder during the day, which then leads to more frequent urges at night. For both men and women, chronic medical conditions can also play a significant role. Diabetes is one example. High blood sugar levels cause the kidneys to produce more urine, which can lead to frequent trips both day and night. Heart failure is another condition that contributes to nocturia. When someone with heart failure lies down, excess fluid that has been pooling in the legs during the day gets reabsorbed into the bloodstream, filtered by the kidneys, and ends up filling the bladder during the night. There are also medications that can increase nighttime urination. Diuretics, often called water pills, are commonly prescribed for high blood pressure or swelling. If these are taken later in the day, they can trigger more urine production at night. Even medications for other conditions, such as certain antidepressants or blood pressure drugs, may have side effects that contribute to nocturia. And finally, lifestyle factors should not be overlooked. Drinking large amounts of fluids, especially caffeine or alcohol in the evening, increases urine production. Caffeine not only stimulates the bladder, but also acts as a diuretic. Alcohol does the same, while also interfering with the deep stages of sleep, making it more likely that you will wake up when your bladder signals. The truth is that for many people, nocturia is not caused by just one factor. It is often the result of a combination of aging, health conditions, medications, and habits. This is why identifying your personal triggers is so important. The 3-2-1 method can help reduce the burden, but understanding the cause is what leads to long-term solutions. At this point, you may be asking yourself, how do I know if my nighttime urination is simply an annoyance or a sign of something more serious? The answer lies in paying close attention to the symptoms and recognizing the red flags that should never be ignored. First, let us talk about what is considered within the normal range. Many healthy adults may wake up once per night to urinate, especially if they have had more fluids in the evening. In most cases, this is not alarming. However, when nighttime urination becomes frequent, meaning 2 or more times every night, and especially if it is affecting your ability to get restorative sleep, it becomes important to look deeper. Now let us consider the warning signs. If you ever notice blood in your urine, whether it is bright red or a darker brownish color, this is a clear signal to seek medical help right away. Pain or burning during urination is another red flag that could indicate infection, stones, or inflammation. Pay attention as well to sudden changes. If you go from sleeping through the night to suddenly waking up several times without a clear reason, that change deserves evaluation. For men, difficulty starting urination, a weak stream, or a feeling of incomplete emptying may point to prostate issues that need medical attention. For women, symptoms such as pelvic discomfort or leakage during the day, combined with frequent nighttime urination, may signal bladder or pelvic floor conditions. Another important symptom is swelling in the legs, ankles, or feet. If you notice that your legs are puffy by evening, and then you find yourself urinating more often during the night, this could be related to heart or kidney problems. Similarly, if you wake up gasping for air, snoring loudly, or feeling excessively tired during the day, sleep apnea may be a hidden cause that is linked to nighttime urination. It is also worth noting if nocturia comes with fever, chills, or back pain, which could point to an infection that has reached the kidneys. These situations should never be ignored and require professional evaluation. In summary, waking up once in a while may not be alarming, but persistent or sudden changes, especially when combined with pain, blood, swelling, or other unusual symptoms, should always be taken seriously. Your body is giving you signals, and listening to them is the first step to protecting your health. So how do doctors actually diagnose the causes of nighttime urination? The process usually begins with a detailed conversation about your health history. A doctor will ask how often you wake up at night, how much urine you pass, and whether you notice other symptoms such as pain, urgency, or swelling. They may also ask about your fluid intake, your evening habits, and any medications you take, since these details can reveal important clues. One common tool is called a bladder diary. This is a simple record you keep for several days, writing down when you drink fluids, when you urinate, and how much urine is produced. It may sound tedious, but it provides a clear picture of your patterns and helps doctors understand whether your kidneys are producing too much urine at night or whether your bladder is overly sensitive. Physical examination is another important step. In men, the doctor may check the size of the prostate. In women, the doctor may evaluate the pelvic area and look for signs of prolapse or muscle weakness that can affect bladder control. Blood pressure, heart sounds, and swelling in the legs may also be checked. Since heart and kidney problems are often connected with nocturia, laboratory tests can add more information. A urine test, called a urinalysis, can detect infections, blood, or sugar that might suggest diabetes. Blood tests may be ordered to evaluate kidney function, blood sugar levels, or other systemic conditions. In some cases, imaging tests such as an ultrasound of the bladder, kidneys, or prostate are recommended to rule out structural issues. For people with suspected sleep apnea, a sleep study may be part of the evaluation. This is because disrupted breathing at night can affect how the body regulates fluids, leading to nighttime urination. The goal of diagnosis is not only to confirm that you have nocturia, but to discover why it is happening. Without understanding the underlying cause, treatment can be frustrating and incomplete. For some, the solution may be as simple as adjusting evening habits. For others, it may involve addressing a medical condition that requires specific therapy. Either way, the diagnostic process is the bridge that connects symptoms with effective solutions, and it is an essential step in taking control of your sleep and your health. When it comes to treatment and management of nighttime urination, there is no one-size-fits-all solution. The right approach depends on the cause, but there are several general strategies that doctors often recommend to help people find relief. The first line of management is almost always lifestyle changes. Adjusting fluid intake is one of the simplest but most powerful steps. That means drinking most of your water earlier in the day, avoiding large amounts of fluids in the evening, and cutting back on beverages that irritate the bladder, such as coffee, tea, alcohol, and carbonated drinks. Reducing salt intake is also very important, since a salty diet makes the body hold on to fluid, which later shifts to the bladder at night. Another key step is adjusting medication timing. For example, if you take diuretics, which are water pills often prescribed for blood pressure or swelling, your doctor may suggest taking them in the morning instead of later in the day. This allows the medication to do its job during waking hours, rather than filling your bladder in the middle of the night. Pelvic floor exercises and bladder training can also play a role. These techniques strengthen the muscles that control urination and teach the bladder to hold more urine comfortably. They may sound simple, but over time they can make a significant difference in how often you need to get up at night. In some cases, medications are used. There are drugs that relax the bladder, reduce overactivity, or help the kidneys produce less urine at night. It is important to note that these treatments must be prescribed and monitored by a doctor, since they may have side effects and are not appropriate for everyone. For men with an enlarged prostate, specific medications or procedures may be recommended to relieve pressure on the bladder and improve urine flow. Equally important is managing underlying medical conditions. Good control of diabetes, treatment of sleep apnea with devices such as CPAP machines, or therapy for heart failure can all reduce the burden of nocturia. Addressing the root cause often provides the greatest long-term improvement. The main message here is that nighttime urination can be managed. You do not have to accept it as an unavoidable part of aging. With the right combination of daily habits, medical evaluation, and when necessary, targeted treatment, many people experience fewer interruptions at night and regain the ability to sleep more peacefully. Now, let us focus on prevention and the best daily tips to keep nighttime urination under control. This is where the 3-2-1 method really shines, because it gives you a simple structure to follow every evening. But beyond that, there are additional daily strategies that can make the results even more powerful. Let us begin with the 3. Remember, this means no large amounts of fluids in the 3 hours before bed. The key here is not to cut fluids altogether, but to shift your hydration earlier. Drink water steadily throughout the morning and afternoon so that by evening you are already well hydrated. If you feel thirsty in the last few hours before bed, take only small sips rather than full glasses. Also be mindful of hidden fluids. Soups, juicy fruits, or even desserts like gelatin can add to your fluid load. By being conscious of what you consume in those final hours, you set yourself up for a calmer bladder overnight. The 2 means no heavy meals within 2 hours of bedtime. This is not just about avoiding discomfort or indigestion. Salty foods, large dinners, or late-night snacking all influence how much fluid your body retains. For example, imagine eating a pizza or a bowl of salty noodles at 9 at night. Your body will hold on to extra water, and as you lie down, that fluid will move into your bloodstream and eventually to your bladder. By finishing your last meal earlier and keeping it lighter, you reduce the fluid shift and give your digestive system time to rest. If you need a small snack before bed, choose something light and not overly salty, like a piece of fruit or a handful of nuts. And then there is the one, no screens in the last hour before bed. It may not seem connected to urination, but sleep quality is the missing link. Blue light from phones and televisions tells your brain to stay awake and delays melatonin production. Without enough melatonin, your sleep is lighter and you wake more easily. Even the smallest signal from your bladder can pull you out of sleep. By shutting down screens, dimming the lights, and perhaps replacing that time with reading a physical book, or practicing relaxation techniques. You prepare your body for deeper rest. Deeper sleep means you are less likely to wake up unless your bladder is truly full. In addition to the 3-2-1 method, here are a few more tips that can help. One is to elevate your legs in the evening. If you sit or lie down with your feet slightly raised for about 30 minutes before bed, the fluid that is pooled in your legs during the day can return to your bloodstream and be processed by your kidneys before you go to sleep. This simple routine is especially helpful for older adults or anyone who notices swelling in the ankles by evening. Another useful tip is to keep your bedroom cool and dark. A cooler environment promotes deeper sleep, and darkness supports natural melatonin release. Together, these conditions make it less likely that you will wake up unnecessarily during the night. Bladder training during the day is also worth mentioning. This involves gradually spacing out your bathroom visits so that your bladder becomes more accustomed to holding larger amounts of urine. For example, if you typically urinate every 2 hours, try to extend it to 2.5, then 3. Over time, this strengthens the bladder and reduces urgency. Tracking your progress can also be motivating. Keep a simple journal of how often you wake up at night, what you ate or drank in the evening, and whether you followed the 3-2-1 method. Patterns often emerge, and you will see which changes make the biggest difference for you personally. To bring all these tips together, let us imagine a simple evening routine. You finish your last full glass of water around 7 o'clock, and you have dinner no later than 7:30. Your meal is balanced but not overly salty, perhaps grilled chicken with vegetables. After dinner, you limit fluids to only small sips if needed. At 8:30, you put your feet up on a pillow for half an hour while reading a book. By 9 o'clock, you turn off the television and silence your phone. You dim the lights, maybe practice a bit of gentle stretching, and head to bed by 10 o'clock. By following this routine, you are giving your body every possible advantage to minimize nighttime urination and enjoy a more restorative sleep. The 3-2-1 method is simple, memorable, and effective. Combined with these daily strategies, it becomes not just a tool, but a lifestyle adjustment that can transform your nights and your days. Prevention is not about perfection, it is about consistency. Each evening you follow these steps, you increase your chances of uninterrupted rest and healthier mornings. Now that you know the 3-2-1 method and the key prevention tips, let me share with you some extra value that can help you beyond nighttime urination. These are habits and insights that improve not only your sleep, but also your overall health. The first idea is about understanding your circadian rhythm. Your body has an internal clock that regulates when you feel awake and when you feel sleepy. If you go to bed and wake up at very different times each day, your circadian rhythm gets confused. This confusion can make sleep lighter and more fragmented, which in turn makes you more sensitive to waking up for any reason, including the urge to urinate. By setting a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends, you strengthen your natural rhythm and improve the depth of your sleep. This simple adjustment can reduce the number of times you wake at night, regardless of your bladder. The second piece of extra value is related to caffeine and alcohol. Caffeine is not only a stimulant, it is also a mild diuretic, which means it increases urine production. Even if you drink coffee in the early afternoon, its effects can still linger into the evening. Alcohol, on the other hand, might make you feel sleepy at first, but it disrupts your sleep cycles and can increase nighttime bathroom trips. By limiting caffeine after midday and avoiding alcohol close to bedtime, you give your bladder and your brain a better chance to rest. A third idea involves mindfulness and relaxation practices. Stress is one of the hidden triggers for both poor sleep and increased urination. When you are anxious, your body produces stress hormones that stimulate both the brain and the bladder. Taking 10 minutes in the evening for deep breathing, meditation, or gentle stretching can calm the nervous system and prepare your body for uninterrupted sleep. This practice not only reduces nighttime urination, but also supports mental health. Another valuable tip is to stay active during the day. Regular physical activity helps regulate hormones, improves circulation, and reduces fluid buildup in the legs. All of this contributes to fewer bathroom visits at night. You do not need intense exercise. Even a daily walk of 30 minutes can make a noticeable difference over time. Finally, let me highlight the importance of communication with your doctor. Sometimes, frequent nighttime urination is more than just a habit or a lifestyle issue. It can be linked to conditions like sleep apnea, diabetes, or prostate enlargement. If you try the 3-2-1 method and lifestyle tips consistently for several weeks and still wake up multiple times every night, it is wise to bring it up with a healthcare professional. The sooner the underlying cause is identified, the sooner you can get effective treatment. So, the extra value here is this. Managing nighttime urination is not only about the bladder, it is about the whole body. When you respect your natural sleep rhythm, limit stimulants, calm your mind, stay physically active, and seek professional guidance when needed, you are building a foundation for healthier nights and better days. The 3-2-1 method is your daily anchor, and these additional habits are the supportive tools that maximize its effectiveness. We have covered a lot together tonight, so let us take a moment to review the key points. When it comes to preventing nighttime urination, the 3-2-1 method is a simple yet powerful tool. Remember, 3 hours before bed, you should stop eating heavy meals. 2 hours before bed, you should stop drinking large amounts of fluids. And 1 hour before bed, you should begin winding down from screens and stimulating activities. This routine helps your body prepare for uninterrupted rest. The second big point is understanding the causes. Nighttime urination, also called nocturia, can come from many different sources. It may be lifestyle related, such as late fluid intake or stress, but it can also be a sign of medical conditions like sleep apnea, diabetes, or prostate enlargement in men. Recognizing when it is just a habit and when it might need professional evaluation is an important step for protecting your health. And the third key takeaway is prevention through daily choices. Beyond the 3-2-1 method, you can reduce nighttime bathroom trips by keeping a consistent sleep schedule, limiting caffeine and alcohol, staying active during the day, and practicing relaxation techniques before bed. All of these strategies support both your bladder and your overall health. So, what is the promise I made at the beginning? That you would walk away with a clear method to try tonight? A better understanding of what causes nighttime urination and practical tools to reduce it? And now you have all of that. You are not powerless against those frustrating wake-ups. With a few intentional habits, you can set yourself up for deeper, more restorative sleep. As you think about tonight's discussion, ask yourself this. Which of these steps can you start applying immediately? Maybe it is as simple as avoiding that late glass of water or setting a consistent bedtime. Small changes add up, and your body will thank you with better rest and more energy during the day. The journey to better sleep is not about perfection, it is about progress. Every night that you apply even part of this routine is a step toward healthier mornings. And as always, if your symptoms are severe or do not improve, your doctor is your best partner for finding the right solution. Now that we have summarized the most important lessons, you are ready to put the 3-2-1 method into practice and see for yourself how much of a difference it can make. Thank you so much for staying with me until the very end of this video. I truly appreciate your time and your trust because I know how valuable both are. If you are here right now, it means you are committed to improving your health and your sleep. And that is something worth celebrating. If you found this video helpful, please take just a moment to give it a like. That small gesture makes a huge difference in helping this channel grow and reach more people who are also struggling with nighttime urination and sleep issues. And if you have not already, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the latest health tips and science-based advice that I share here every week. I also want to invite you to join the conversation in the comments section. Let me know which part of the 3-2-1 method you are going to try first. Share your own experiences with nighttime urination and tell us what has or has not worked for you. Your stories can inspire and support others who are going through the same challenges. I read as many comments as I can, and in future videos, I will be giving a special greeting to new subscribers and highlighting some of the best comments. So do not be shy, your participation makes this community stronger. If you would like me to cover other health topics, or if you have suggestions on how I can make this channel even more useful for you, please let me know in the comments as well. This space is built for you, and your feedback helps me shape future videos in a way that truly serves your needs. And before we finish, let me leave you with an important reminder. This content is only educational and does not replace professional medical consultation. So, as you move forward, remember the 3-2-1 method. Remember the extra value tips we discussed? And most importantly, remember that better nights mean better days. I am rooting for you to sleep more peacefully, wake up more energized, and enjoy a healthier life. Thank you again for watching. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share this video with someone you care about, and leave your comment below. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take good care of yourself and sleep well.